Your person was deeply afraid of their feelings for you because what they experienced was unlike anything they had ever felt before. The emotions were intense, raw, and incredibly real, something magnetic that pulled them in, no matter how much they tried to resist. It wasn't just an ordinary connection, it was something spiritual, soul-stirring, and profound. And because they had never encountered anything like this in their life, it shook them to the core. They had no frame of reference for this kind of bond, and instead of embracing it, they instinctively recoiled out of fear. To protect themselves from what they couldn't understand, they began to suppress these feelings. They tried to rationalize them away, to ignore their intuition, and to deny the signs the universe was constantly placing in their path. The synchronicities, the dreams, the emotional surges, all of it felt too surreal to be true. Since they had been out of touch with their spiritual side for so long, they found it difficult to believe in something so intangible yet so powerful. Ideas like soulmates or divine connections had always seemed like fantasy to them, something found in books or movies, not in real life. But then came you. You challenged everything they believed. Your connection shattered their previous understanding of love and forced them to confront feelings they had long buried. Despite all their efforts to stay grounded in logic, they couldn't deny the pull they felt toward you. It was as if something deeper, something beyond physical or emotional attraction, was anchoring their soul to yours. Even when you were physically apart, they felt you. They could sense your presence, your energy, and sometimes even your emotions, regardless of the miles that separated you. It baffled them and, at times, terrified them. They weren't just thinking about you, they were feeling you. And that level of connection was overwhelming. Still, they fought it. They kept trying to convince themselves it wasn't real, that it was all in their head. But the more they resisted, the more persistent the connection became. Time and space never truly lessened the intensity of what they felt for you. If anything, it made it stronger. They began to notice patterns, how you both would drift apart only to return to each other, each time with a deeper understanding, more love, and renewed respect. They started to see that your bond wasn't fragile. It was resilient. And that realization changed everything. Slowly, they started to surrender. They began to accept the possibility that what you share is real, that it's something sacred and rare. They no longer see your connection as just an emotional experience but as a soul-level bond, something no external force can sever. That level of awareness has awakened something within them. They've grown spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. And through that growth, they've come to recognize just how much you mean to them. Now, they don't want to keep pretending. They don't want to keep you at arm's length or let fear dictate their actions. They see you as their ultimate happiness, their peace, their home. The silence that once served as their shield has become their prison. It's eating them up inside. Every day without you feels hollow, incomplete. They find themselves replaying memories, conversations, and moments shared, clinging to them in your absence. They've reached a breaking point. The emotional distance is killing them, leaving them feeling empty and alone in ways they've never experienced before. And so, they've made a decision. They're ready to face the consequences, even if it means confronting your anger or hurt. They know they've made mistakes. They know their fear may have pushed you away. But their heart is no longer willing to live in denial. They want to reach out, not just to explain or apologize, but to truly open up, to share everything they've been holding back. They want you to know that they've changed. This time, it's not about running away or hiding behind uncertainty. It's about standing in truth, embracing the vulnerability, and honoring the love that has always been there, unspoken but deeply felt. They're ready to fight for this, for you. not out of desperation, but out of genuine love and newfound understanding. Because no matter what happened before, the connection remains. It's still there, beating quietly beneath the surface, waiting to be acknowledged, waiting to be healed. They believe that love like this doesn't just fade, it transforms, deepens, and endures. And now that they see it clearly, they don't want to let it go. They hope you can find it in your heart to listen, to understand, and maybe, in time, to forgive. Because losing you would mean losing the most real thing they've ever known. You reminded me that I deserve happiness, something I had forgotten along the way. There was something in your presence, something in the way you looked at me, that shifted everything. Through your eyes, I saw the world differently. You didn't just look at me, you saw me, the parts one had buried, the parts one was ashamed of, and the parts one didn't even know existed. And in one glance, you captivated me completely. It was like time paused, and all I could see was you. I fell in love with you at first sight, not just with your beauty, but with the energy you carried, the peace in your voice, and the fire in your spirit. Meeting you was the first time I truly believed in manifestation. I had heard of it before, this idea of calling something into existence through thought and intention, but I never took it seriously until you appeared. When you walked into my life, it felt like the universe had finally answered a silent prayer I didn't even know I'd been saying. Deep down, I have this unshakable knowing that I manifested you. You were everything I never dared to ask for and everything I didn't know I needed. Lately, I've been sitting back and reflecting on everything, on our history, our memories, the moments we shared, and even the silence that followed. There's this indescribable pull I feel all the time, this urge to reach out, to say something, anything, just to remind you that I'm still here. I haven't forgotten about you. Not even for a second. But every time I think of what to say, it all feels so small, so inadequate. Words don't feel like enough unless they're backed by real, consistent actions. I know that now. The truth is, there was no me before you. Or maybe there was, but I barely recognize that person anymore. I look back at who I was and I don't feel connected to him. That man feels like a stranger, lost, reactive, unsure, scared. I've changed in ways that I struggle to put into words. And I wish, more than anything, that you could see who I am now. I think you'd like him. I think you'd be proud of him. I think, in your presence, he would feel safe to be fully seen. But I don't know how to show you that I've changed. I don't know how to bridge the distance between us. Would you give me that chance? To prove that I'm not the same man I was? The man who couldn't keep promises, who let fear make decisions for him, who backed away when things got real and vulnerable between us. I hate that version of myself. Not because he was weak, but because he didn't realize what he had in front of him until it slipped away. You were never the problem. You were the gift. And I didn't know how to hold something that valuable. I thought I was protecting you by keeping you at a distance, by not introducing you to everyone in my world. But I see now how that must have made you feel, like I was hiding you. And I'm sorry. I truly am. That was never my intention. I wasn't hiding you. I was protecting us. What we had felt too rare, too delicate, like a beautiful flame I didn't want the world to blow out. I didn't want anyone's opinions, judgments, or energy to come near you, near us. It wasn't the right approach. And I can see now that in trying to protect you, I may have made you feel unimportant, unseen, or like a secret. That couldn't be further from the truth. I wanted the world to know about you, I just didn't know how to do that while still feeling like I could keep our connection safe. But now, I'm ready to show you off. To introduce you to my people, to bring you into the spaces that matter most to me. not out of obligation, but because I want everyone I love to know the person who changed me at my core. What we had, it wasn't ordinary. I still don't have the words to describe it properly. It felt like we existed in a bubble, untouched by time, pressure, or the noise of the outside world. And in that bubble, I felt peace. I felt whole. I've never stopped wanting that feeling. I wanted to stay in that space with you forever. And maybe it's naive to think we could return to it, but I believe that something that pure doesn't just disappear. It waits. It lingers. It calls us back when we're ready. I don't know where we go from here. I don't expect you to forget everything or to immediately believe in me again. But I'm asking for a chance, a real, honest chance, to show you that I've grown, that I've learned, and that I'm capable of loving you in the way you've always deserved. And if you let me, I'll spend every day proving that the man I am now is finally ready for the love we once had, and the love we still could have. I can't take this separation anymore, it's slowly eating me from the inside out. Every single day feels heavier than the last, and I find myself missing you more than I thought was humanly possible. It doesn't matter how hard I try to distract myself, to move on, or to convince myself that maybe this distance is for the best, I just can't forget about you. You're constantly in my thoughts, in my memories, in my dreams. I see you in every quiet moment, and I feel your absence in every crowded room. Letting you walk away was never something I truly accepted. I might have acted indifferent, or let my pride get in the way, but deep down, all I ever wanted was for you to stay. I still hold on to the moments we shared, the laughter, the quiet talks, the way you used to look at me like I was enough. I eat for you, I sleep thinking of you, and I live each day with the faint hope that maybe, just maybe, you're thinking about me too. I want to ask you something I've been holding back. Do you still love me? Do you still miss me the way I miss you? I feel like I'm being punished, and honestly, I deserve it. I'm paying the price now for not loving you the right way, for not protecting our bond when I had the chance. I'm deeply sorry for the times I lashed out, for the moments I let anger speak when love should have. You never deserved that. You didn't deserve the confusion, the silence, or the emotional distance I created. I see that now, more clearly than ever. I'm tired of being stuck in this endless loop of regret, guilt, and longing. I want to break free from it, not to escape my responsibility, but to finally do the right thing. Because the truth is, I love you more than anyone, more than I've ever loved anyone in my life. And this love isn't just about wanting you back, it's about realizing that I need to grow, to be better, and to create a space where you can feel safe, cherished, and truly seen. I know this long and painful silence between us is on me. I am the one who let the distance grow, who let misunderstandings pile up, and who allowed ego to speak louder than my heart. But I want you to know that I've been working on myself. I've made a plan, a vision, really, of how we can find our way back to each other, slowly and gently. I'm not promising perfection, but I am promising honesty, vulnerability, and effort. Because there's only one person I feel safe being completely raw with, and that's you. We used to be so in sync, like we were made for each other. We laughed at the same things, shared the same dreams, and leaned on each other during the hard times. But somewhere along the way, I let my pride and fear interfere. I let insecurity whisper lies to me, and I acted on them instead of trusting the love we had. I compared you to others when I should have been celebrating your uniqueness. That was my mistake, and it's one I deeply regret. Because the truth is, no one compares to you. No one has ever made me feel the way you did, safe, inspired, loved. I can feel the pain and disappointment I caused you, and it weighs heavily on me. I'm ashamed, not just of my actions, but of the fact that I didn't show you the love and appreciation you truly deserved. You were always there, giving me your time, your heart, your patience. And what did I give back? I brought you confusion, instability, and pain. You helped me heal in ways no one else could, you softened the scars the world gave me, but in return, I darkened your light. I brought storms to your sunshine. And for that, I am truly sorry. But I don't want to let this story end in regret. I want to believe we still have a chance, maybe not to erase the past, but to build a better future. One where we're both heard, valued, and truly connected. One where we open up to each other without fear, where love leads the way instead of ego. We both made mistakes, but I'm ready to face mine with honesty and humility. I'm not asking you to come back right away, or to forget what happened. I'm asking for a conversation. A chance to show you who I am now, and how much I've grown. A chance to hear your truth, your pain, and your hopes. I want to meet you again, not as the person I was, but as the person I'm becoming. I want to rebuild something real with you, something unshakable. You were always my home. I just hope it's not too late to find my way back.